going on, everyone? Welcome inside the first playoff edition of the Deuce Vodka pregame show. As you can see, we are in a brand new studio.
Brand new studio. Literally brand new. Finished and finalized today. We had our friend and special guest here.
Very special
and
guest.
Resident DIY home building renovation expert who helped build the new studio, Chris Chalmers.
Part-time cowboy. Playoffs in the prairie, baby!
We knew with Chalmers here and it with being playoff time, we had to step up our game, Jay. We've been doing the pregame show at this dusty desk. We're not going to tell you guys where the desk is, but it's pretty close to this location. But we're ready to go here.
Pretty close, 3 feet.
Yes. But we're ready to go. Fellas, how we feeling?
I'm excited.
Yeah?
I don't dress up like this for anything. I said on the podcast that we're on, Nation Real Life, that I was going to transition into a cowboy, and this is step one. I got my what do you call these things? Whatever. It's a thing that keeps the dust out of your mouth when you're riding a horse.
He's cowboying, yes.
Yeah, I'm a cowboy hat. So
check out Yellowstone, season 1.
Season 1. So, man, I'm fired up. I'm ready. The city's electric. Social media's been blowing up all day. Hype videos have been going down. We've seen a lot of people posting just their own memes. I've seen way more car flags today than I have. So yeah, I'm jacked up.
We had a pop-up shop today. It is minus 38 outside. It is lined up. You citizens are crazy, but that just tells you the electricity that is going through the air. Magoo and his crew have been leading a parade up and down Edmonton for the last week. I'm assuming he's gone through 38 car horns. But the city is alive, just like Chalmers said. Chalmers came in, busted into the studio, new studio that he built, buzzing today, so we're feeding off of that.
Fired up.
So much so, enjoying one of our new pint glasses and a delicious Nation beer, obviously.
Yeah, Chalmers, we got some love in the comments already for your Messier jersey.
Yeah,
is there a story behind that, or what's going on?
Well, so I guess the only story would be that I bought a Messier and a Gretzky jersey with the hopes that I would get them signed and framed and put them up on my wall. Well, the Gretzky jersey got done. But the Messier jersey is being worn, so it's not done yet. No, not really a story.
It's still got a job to do.
Honestly, he's my favorite player in the world, best captain to ever be. I mean, he's just he's my hero, man, and I just love it. That's why I won't rock a new school jersey, even though I love them. I have them, but this is the one I wear on playoff game day.
Oh. We also got some love for your hat from Sundre, Alberta. Oh. Joe says, love the hat from Sundre.
Oh, that's my boy. That's high praise.
Yeah, and you know what? This just came together. I wanted to rock a real nice black cowboy hat, but this one's the only one I could find, man. So
this might
This
might be Chalmers' new character for the pregame show. This might
Cowboy Chalmers.
Cowboy Chalmers. This might be a regular occasion.
Sticking out of my mouth.
Yeah. Okay. We should quickly touch on this, Jay, because I know this is close to your heart. Before we start breaking down tonight's game, some big news coming out of Germany. Nicholas says Germany is buzzing today. Do you want to let the people know why, Jay?
A big thing happened today. This is 2 months in the workings. I don't know if for you at home that pay attention to the show and see the comments, always a lot of activity from our friends in Germany. Today we launched OilersNation.de, otherwise known as Oilers Nation Germany. 10 of our German friends have launched the site. Follow them at OilersNation.de on socials, OilersNation.de online. It is Oilers Nation in German.
That's sick.
Come on.
Sick.
So they're going to bring the energy. Wait till you see the GIFs and memes and videos that these guys make, because they are just as crazy and silly as us.
2 firsts today. A German 2 firsts. OilersNation.de in Germany. And Dominic Cahoon's first playoff game ever.
Would it be his first playoff
Today
game?
is his first playoff game ever.
And we're going to talk about it in our betting talk, Chalmers and Jay, but I have a good feeling about Dominic Cahoon for tonight.
Well, he's on the line with Connor McDavid.
Yeah. And
sports books are saying plus 300 for him to score, so obviously the market is thinking he's going to score.
Yeah.
Nathan says cheering on from Vegas, and then actually our first comment ever from Oilers Nation Germany.
We're connected.
They're in the chat.
It's a global family.
I love it. So as always, we want you to be a part of the show. So make sure you throw your comments in the chat. Let us know any hot takes you have revolving around tonight's game. Fellas, let's talk about the lineups. We saw them coming into tonight. They've been working with them all week at practice. Top line, JP, McDavid, and Cahoon. And then we're going to get the Nuge, Dry Yam line at the second slot. Chalmers, what do you expect out of that second line? Are you happy they're keeping those three together, or were you hoping that they would start McDavid and Draisaitl together?
I just, when it comes right down to it, I just want it to work. And so the way we started the playoffs in the bubble was disappointing. We looked like the only team that didn't come out, that made playoff intensity right off the bat, right? I've been watching the playoffs. Every other team has stepped up playoff intensity right off the bat. Yep. We cannot have this. So, the best way, first game in the playoffs for Yessa also, and Cahoon, what's one way to get those two guys going playoff ready? Put them up on a line with McDavid.
Yep.
And let's just pray that it just like they come out hard. And that's like, am I thinking they're gonna get it? Yeah, I made a bet today with Yessa to score at a plus 215.
Whew.
So I got the faith.
That's decent.
I got the faith. I mean he's been coming out this whole year in games looking like he's got pants on fire. And I don't expect to be any different with him tonight.
Yeah.
So
we want him to be that forechecking big booty dynamo that he's been all season.
Jay, here's a question for you. Let's say, with the exception of McDavid and Draisaitl, in that top 6, so we're looking at Cahoon, Puljujarvi, Nuge, and Yamamoto. Out of those 4 guys, who do you expect to have the biggest game? Outside in the top 6, outside of McDavid and Draisaitl. Chalmers, you can chime in too. Out of those 4 guys. Because I know there's a lot of people that are throwing around, the Pisani tag on some of these players.
There's a few players going to be looking at. So Yamamoto plays with a very high intensity. He has got a serious motor on him.
Yeah.
And he just chase pucks down. He gets underneath guys. He forechecks hard. That's a guy that gets rewarded in the playoffs. He brings the right intensity to do it. The one thing, though, this is where size really matters in the playoffs. So if they do play really, really physical, it can kind of silence Yamamoto. But I expect big things from him. But I also expect big things from our boy Nuge.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. He is now put on the dry line. That thing clicks.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to be able to make some magic. He's got a lethal weapon at center here with Draisaitl to cause a distraction to create time and space for Nuge. Nuge can shoot the puck. Nuge has got the heart of a lion too. I expect big things from that line. So Nuge and Yamamoto, I just have to couple them together because I want everyone to do good, but I'm expecting good things from them because they're gonna bring their A game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta agree. I mean, on the podcast we said who was gonna be our Pisani this year, who's gonna be the guy that stepped up, and I haven't seen it a lot out of Yamamoto. And I want it so bad.
Very snake bitten, right?
He is, and there's just a guy who, as a smaller person, I like to see smaller people go hard.
Yeah.
I got that thing about me, man.
Respect.
I just like it. So I want him to fire it up, and I really hope he plays well.
Yeah.
And so I would really like to see McLeod came in with such just a kind of a cool way about him. You know what I mean? No pressure. He kind of just had this swag, and if he could turn up that swag level just a little bit in the playoffs, maybe we see something special out of him.
That was my real life choice for the potential Pisani. Like McLeod he has done nothing to make us think otherwise. Like that he is here to stay and he is here to perform. So
he deserves a goal.
He deserves a goal, and he's insulated. You want to talk about a guy who feels safe on the ice? He has got James Neal on his left and Zack Kassian on his right.
Hey, you actually had a good Twitter interaction.
Yeah, that's why I love that.
Because he said something about his deckers. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It was a good shirt.
Okay, we're going to talk about Zack Kassian. We're going to jump into some of these comments first. Sam says Cowboy Chalmers for president. Loves it.
Excellent.
We got someone from...
What year would that be?
2024?
2024? Fuck, let's do it.
Austin says, coming in hot from Flin Flon, Manitoba. We're going to rip Winnipeg up tonight.
Let's go.
Yeah, I love it. Lots of love for JP. Lots of people think that JP is going to have a great night. I want to talk about Zack Kassian, though. Kassian, he's making his return to the lineup tonight. It's been a while for him. We saw him earlier in the season. Chalmers, I'll start with you on this one. Early in the season, there were struggles. There was a lot of people that were saying he was going through his, new contract slump. Wasn't the same Zack Kassian we've seen right before he got injured. And Jay, we talked about this on the pregame show a lot. Right before he got injured, he had a stretch of 2 games that were his best 2 games of the season. Mm-hmm. And then he got injured. Yeah. And then he's done for however long it was, a month and a half. So, he made a comment this morning in his press conference saying, fans or no fans, we're ready to go tonight. People are saying, Kassian is the type of guy, he needs the fans to get into it, emotionally engaged. What do you expect? You think he's going to bring it?
So, I don't know what to expect, but here's the 2 different Kassians that I see. There's a Kassian that can simply take over a hockey game with big hits, getting in scrums. He doesn't even have to touch the scoreboard. And he can draw penalties, and he can have a direct result on the way a game turns out, right?
Yep.
And it can be the exact opposite. If he is completely, he's like a Tom Wilson, right? He goes out there and he stirs it up, and he can change the flow of momentum in a shift, and then continue to get in people's ears, and it throws guys' games off when you have that kind of player, right?
Yeah.
And so if we can have that Zack Kassian, and we didn't see it really all this year except for 2 games, and like last year, and I harped on this. I'm saying this is the type of guy who can be a game changer without scoring.
Yep.
So he has to do it. He has to come out flying. He has to play on that edge, but not reckless enough, because the way he can change a game into a bad game for us is by being too reckless, taking penalties, making everybody focus on him in a negative way, where now his home team's out of their head, right? And I hate that Zack Kassian.
Yeah.
But I love the one that just plays right on that edge.
He's got to walk right down that line.
And that's the one I hope to see tonight, man.
Yeah. Chris Rutton says, I have a theory on Kassian. He had a new kid, got out of shape, and just didn't get enough sleep.
Oh, hey, you know what?
That's
I am willing to subscribe to that if he shows up in the playoffs. Yeah, okay, I'll buy that. Like, this is your time to shine. The thing is, last playoff run that we had, Kassian literally single-handedly beat the San Jose Sharks. He was destroying them with physicality, and he was scoring timely goals.
Yeah.
The guy performed. Like, I'm not expecting him to score 10 goals in the playoffs here, but he has the ability to do it. But just like Chalmers said, it's everything he does off the score sheet that really provides that benefit, especially going into playoffs, because playoff hockey is a war. Winnipeg has some big bodies, so we need to reciprocate and meet them at that level and play that.
You don't want to get beat up in the trenches, right?
You don't.
That can be just a mind-defeating thing that happens to a team when they get beat up in the trenches. I just want to say one thing about you. You said Kassian really thrives off the crowd, and that made me think about a tweet that I saw today. I thought it was really cool how the Oilers put out their scarves, like a tradition.
It was the pom-poms.
The pom-poms, sorry. Every seat has a pom-pom. They're waiting for fans to come back. I hope to God we get some during this playoffs.
I love that.
I just thought that was so cool.
Yeah.
And like the players coming out for their optional skate or even warm-ups to see that, man, that has to feel good.
It gives a buzz. It creates a buzz.
I'm glad you brought that up. Just good energy with them.
Just good energy, man. It's just good energy.
When I used to work for the Oilers, I used to be the guy that put those on the seats.
How many people do
How
it?
long would that take?
Oh man, it would take us hours.
Yeah, but how many was a group of like 10 of you?
There would be, it would switch out in shifts and stuff. But I remember one day I was there for maybe 8 or 9 hours, and we got like just over half of it done. But
enough
one
stairs,
thing is, do you remember when they opened the rink? Or I think they might have done this for Fan Appreciation Night a year after. Do you remember when they put the logo in the stands of all the jerseys?
Yeah.
That was me.
Oh, wow.
I was a part of the team that did
what
that.
What if you didn't get it right?
Well, luckily I didn't design it. It was our big head of marketing guy that did it.
Good,
and
that's
I helped like lay it all out and stuff. That was intense.
That's very
Good
cool.
little side story there.
Well, speaking about designing things, we got to shout out Josh Park for the playoff hype video that launched last night.
Yeah, like getting a ton of love on social media. I love seeing it.
It's getting a lot of love. Very well done.
Yeah.
Not surprised that it's crushing. Josh makes good stuff, but that got me amped up yesterday. And today.
Thank you.
Still
Still in.
Chalmers, we're going to put you on the spot here, brother. Every single pregame show, Jay and I do something called our Deuce Vodka player modes. You've seen it. You've seen it.
Yeah.
So
no, I've
definitely
seen it.
Jay, we're going to do it.
Yeah,
I haven't even thought of mine.
I don't even know what
I know what
I'm
mine is,
gonna
but let's
Do you want to go, Chalmers, do you have one?
I don't even know what the hell we're talking about. But
So,
okay, so you want me to start?
Yes.
You pick a player and
I feel like the one I'm
No,
gonna
I
do-
want to go first.
Okay.
But I might screw it up. Tell me the format.
So you're going to pick a player,
Yep.
and then you pick a mode you want them to enter. So it's like, okay, you want Leon Draisaitl to enter German Rockstar mode, or you want...
Go first. I need a second.
Okay, well, I feel like I'm just worried I'm going to steal yours.
No, I don't even have one.
Okay.
Can't steal something.
So we're about to enter playoff hockey, and we just literally touched on the subject. So for my Deuce Vodka player mode, I want Zack Kassian, who is sans Wolverine chops. He is going reverse Wolverine chops right now to enter 2017 San Jose Shark playoff mode.
Yeah.
Factor mode. Be a factor tonight,
Factor.
Zach. I don't even care if you score, but you need to make the Jets know when you're on the ice, because that makes more time and space for a guy like Ryan McLeod to get his first playoff goal.
I focused in on one, and I couldn't get out of it.
I didn't try to think of a
and then
mode
it was
for
like,
Kassian.
so mine was going to be Zack Kassian, crushing boy band ass mode. Crushing him.
Well,
Just
talk
crushing
us through.
people.
Talk us
Okay.
through.
Can you explain this for us?
So every time Zack Kassian's on the ice, I want him to pretend like he's in a boy band, and the Winnipeg Jets are ass. And he's crushing ass. Okay. We'll go to another one. Okay. Second one, Jujar Hammer time.
Yeah.
It's Jujar Hammer mode.
I like the Kassian one better.
Yeah.
but-
So Chalmers, start from
both-
scratch.
they're both
Start
a little
from the
online,
beginning.
but- okay.
Because Brett Kissel is our boss.
Oh yes. Oh, this is sponsored by Deuce Vodka?
Yes.
Okay. Cowboys, so we're kind of the same person.
Yeah,
right?
okay,
We both sing. So there's that.
So start.
So
Okay.
I want.
Which one?
So your Deuce Vodka player mode.
My
you
Deuce
would like.
Vodka player mode is Zack Kassian in boy band crushing ass mode. Pretend the Winnipeg Jets. You're in a boy band, and they're the ass. And I want you to crush it.
Hey, Wads, can you clip that for us?
That is TikTok gold.
We gotta get that all over the socials.
Oh, yeah.
I can't even follow that.
I can't even
That's
think
like
of
an
another.
NSYNC or K-pop background song.
I mean, Zack Kassian's more of a Backstreet Boy. He's like a Kevin Richardson, coming back. You don't expect much from him, but he can really change a song.
Plays an
Now
important part. Kevin Richardson finally comes out in "I Want It That Way."
I want it that way, and you don't think he's got anything.
Yeah.
He kind of nails it.
Yeah. So actually, I want Zack Kassian to enter "I Want It That Way." That's the way I want it.
That mode.
But I already said Zack Kassian. That you're
Okay, so I gotta do the
so
other
now
one
you
now?
gotta do another one. We gotta put you on the
Okay,
spot.
let me just pick
But
the guy.
mainly because he nailed that one so good, so we gotta get him.
That
a
might have
second
been
one.
the best Deuce Vodka player
Oh,
we've
jeez.
ever had.
That might
Tell
have
me
just
a player.
moved 100 bottles of Super
Let's do
Vodka.
this. Tell me a player,
Okay.
and I'll put him in a mode.
Just immediately.
Just
on
name
the
a
spot.
Woo!
Okay, ready?
This is
Okay.
all right. What's that?
Give him some hard.
I
I want
hope
you
I don't
to
say something
do
offside here.
Tyson Berry.
Oh.
Tyson Berry. Okay. Tyson Berry needs to enter
Oh, start from scratch.
the Deuce Vodka mode. What did I say again?
Deuce Vodka player mode.
The Deuce Vodka player mode that I want Tyson Berry to enter is the Steph Curry zone. I want to be shooting from everywhere, baby. You get that puck at the point, I want you shooting threes from deep.
Make
That's
it
the
rain.
mode I want him to be in,
Yup.
making it rain, because the way you score in the playoffs is pucks on the net, from the point, people in front. The crazy bounces happen in the playoffs, so that is the mode I would like Tyson Berry to enter.
So that probably just took your boy mode. That's so much.
I wasn't gonna do Berry.
Oh,
I was gonna do Berry's my boy though. I love
Yeah,
Berry.
you love
Okay,
Tyson Berry?
I love Tyson Berry. Support him to the end. For my Deuce Vodka player mode, I gotta pick another JP. From one JP to another, Jesse Puljujarvi. I want him to enter Finnish Elite League Golden Bucket mode. You know when they're in the Finnish Elite League,
Yep.
and whenever they're the top scorer on the team, they get the Golden Bucket?
Yep.
I want him to enter Golden Bucket mode. It's time for you, JP, to have your shining moment on the Edmonton Oilers. An opportunity here, really for all the players on this roster, an opportunity to have your 2017 Zack Kassian moment and just establish yourself in the hearts of Edmonton Oilers fans.
Big butt mode.
Big butt, Golden Bucket mode.
You know what?
Own that front of the net, because what he's probably gonna do is tip a Tyson Berry shot.
I would love it, because I
Yup.
got that on the money.
After Zack Kassian crushes an ass in the corner and knocks a puck loose to get fed to Barry, shot on net, tip by JP. There it is. That is your
Full
Deuce
circle.
Vodka player mode goal.
Unbelievable. Send in some comments and some questions. We want to answer anything you have regarding tonight's game, whether it's how Chalmers is going to enjoy the game tonight, whether it's a question you have about this lineup, our thoughts on how the Oilers are going to go. Fellas, why don't we look at this series as a whole right now?
Okay.
There's a couple different ways it could go. It could be a high-scoring series. It could be a low-scoring series. It could be a really physical series. It could kind of just be a laid-back, transition kind of game. Jay, I'll start with you. What type of game and what type of series do you think would best suit the Edmonton Oilers and give them the best opportunity for success?
Oh, that's a very, very good question. I actually want it to be... I want it to probably be, for Oilers to have success,
Yeah.
I actually probably want it to be a low-scoring series.
Okay.
And the reason being, trust me, for television and entertainment, I want it to be high-scoring. I want to destroy the Jets. But I think if the Oilers want to feel like they know how to win, winning and holding really close, like one-goal leads or coming back from one goal and winning 3-2, 2-1, knowing that you can do that and win those types of games is very important for a long playoff run. Yes, I want Connor to go supernova every night. I want 5 goals on the board, but the reality is that if we can win the war, which is like and that's physicality and low-scoring games, and feel confident in those situations, because the series are only going to get harder.
So why do you want the war in the first series?
But I'm just
like what you're saying is that you want them to win this war. I don't feel like this is actually a war that's coming towards them. I feel like this is the first battle in what is a bigger war.
Yeah.
And so you don't want to get a lot of casualties in the first war.
No, that's
fair. A low-scoring game that you have to fight every tooth and nail, every third period with 2 minutes left is just a constant battle. That shit will just weigh on you mentally and physically.
Well,
and so if it's what I want
The counterpoint that to the Chalmers, though, is if they walk through this series, they're going to underestimate their competition. If they feel that they can slug it out blow for blow, so. Like I'm with you. Like you burn gas in the tank. And it is heavy hockey, but think about divisions like the East and the West, where it is heavy hockey, and those guys are going to come out exhausted.
Yes, yeah, that's the thing. But that's what you're That's what you're kind of saying is heavy hockey. And they come out exhausted. You look at these other series. You look at Minnesota and Vegas. You look at Tampa and Florida, and that's heavy hockey, right? Those two teams are kicking each other's ass. Mm-hmm. Colorado and St. Louis, they're kicking each other's ass, all right, but they're going back and forth. Fast hockey, high scoring. That's the type of hockey you want in the first round. You want, because that doesn't weigh on you as physically and as mentally as hard hockey does, right? Like, so if I'm telling you what the key to this series is for me, it's we have, and the way my outlook on this series is, and I said it on the podcast, is that we win in 5, mm-hmm. and I think there's going to be 2 fucking blowouts, 5-1, mm-hmm. 4-1, mm-hmm. and then a really tight game, for the other 2, and then a loss where we lose in like overtime. And I think that those 2 tight games where we win and the overtime loss that we might have is enough to keep the mind right. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that's the kind of thing that I think is going to play best for us in the next season, in the next series.
So we kind of want the same thing with like kind of getting there in 2 different paths, and that's just like confidence.
Right. So yes, yeah, and you know what? Maybe Tampa, Florida is more of a back and forth type of series, but they're. I guess every playoff series is really having
it's playoffs.
Playoffs
it's always heavy hockey, but like you just want to know that you can show up to the fight and you feel confident you're going to win, as opposed to feeling the fear.
If you're sitting in your stall and you guys won 3-1, and you're sitting in your stall after the game, you're not as mentally and physically tired as if you won 2-1 and the last 5 minutes was an absolute fucking battle with them in your own zone. You're sitting in your stall going, man, this is going to be a long series if that shit keeps happening. Yeah. And the minute they think this is going to be a long series, that is a negative way of thinking. And that is the type of shit that will slowly start to gnaw at you, right? And so we don't want that. We need a and this is my prediction for tonight. I'm taking the over. I'm taking Oilers money line. I'm taking the puck line. I mean, I'm thinking they come out and tonight's the 5-1 game. And what I
especially with the lineup,
if there's going to be
and what I hope doesn't happen is that they come into game 2 with that 5-1 mentality. That would be the worst thing.
If they do it tonight, they might take that.
So let's just hope to God that they're professionals and that they can get the fuck over it.
Yeah.
And we didn't even talk about it. Nick Ehlers and Pierre-Luc Dubois not playing in tonight's game. So the Jets are going to be shorthanded. Yeah. We don't know how long those injuries are going to last. We know that both of them were in non-contact jerseys at practice today. Nick Ehlers hasn't taken a full real practice in months. Mm-hmm. And by months, I mean like 2 months. But still, it's going to take a while for some of these guys to come back. So if the Oilers want to get up on this series, get on it early. You got to win the first 2 games no matter what. 100%. Especially if neither of these guys are in the lineup.
Exactly. Take advantage, and then we're in their heads.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's no better place to be.
The mental component to playoff hockey is insane, and winning that battle goes such a long way. Well, you win.
Yeah. Adam says, I think Archibald and McLeod will be the dark horses that surprise everyone. Brad says, I want Neon Leon to enter the Bearded Brad mode and have him crush Neon Nation bombs all night long.
Is there anybody more locked in than the Bearded Brad?
Bearded Brad was at Little Brick today in his orange tracksuit. He's ready.
Came straight from his
Did he wear the tracksuit?
He wore the tracksuit.
Unbelievable.
I want to know how much Deuce vodka this guy's putting away.
Hey, Brad lives a good life, and he is
one of the best.
It is. I know. I love it.
He's an influencer now.
Well, look what he's made. He started a movement.
Yeah. So, Bearded Brad. Here's the downside of it. Might be a Tuesday, okay? I don't want to have a cocktail. I don't want a beer tonight.
But it's playoffs.
No. Oh, well, today's Wednesday. I'm talking about like a Tuesday, like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Normal hockey game. I just want to watch it. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, Leon scores. I go to social. I see the Bearded Brad chug one. And you know what it turns on in me? It's like when you see a Coors Light commercial or a Bud Light commercial or a Nation beer cup and you're like, God, a beer would taste really good.
Yeah, I know.
Have you ever watched the movie?
He's an influencer.
Have you ever watched the movie Beer? What is the movie that the guys that did Super Troopers did?
Beer Fest.
Beer Fest. Have you ever watched Beer Fest and not drank a beer? Nobody has. Nobody has.
Bearded
Because
Brown.
the minute you see that
You're an
first guy chugging, you're like,
influencer.
let's go.
Influence.
Okay. Way to go.
Hashtag influence.
Hashtag influence.
Brad also said we need Chalmers to have his own show. This guy just drops street bombs.
No.
Dude, we got
I
a
got
lot
no
of
time
love
for
for
that.
Chalmers in the
Yeah,
comments.
From Caddis.
Chalmers is joining the pregame show permanently. For the playoff run.
Absolutely not.
Patty
What?
says
Why not?
love
For
this
the playoffs?
Chalmers guy. Why not?
I mean, I'm just saying.
It's so easy.
Yeah, no, it's very
Come
fun.
down
I
to
mean,
this new studio
Brand new studio.
3 hours before.
look, I love
We're setting records for views right now, just so you guys know.
I love
This
being
is-
involved,
playoffs,
man.
baby.
I love
Let's-
being involved.
let's go.
All right.
Okay,
all right.
let's talk about betting, shall we?
Yeah, please do.
We're going to answer some more comments following our betting talk, so make sure you keep sending them in. I see them, don't worry. Let's talk about it. Chalmers, you already touched on it. I've already placed one wager on today's game. I saw the money line. I'm staying away from that. I hammered Oilers in regulation. I got it at plus 101, I think, or minus 101.
That's nice.
Either way.
It's a nice
That's
turn from the
okay.
way it
That's-
used to be.
that's
Yeah,
even
they gave you the regulation, the the win, loss, and the tie. It's nice. I like that. So you got that at what?
I got Oilers in reg at minus 101, I think.
Okay.
So I got a modest $30 on it.
Perfect.
I'm feeling good. I'm also going to bet on Cahoon goal, and I think I'm going to take the over. I feel did you mention the over?
I did.
I like the over in tonight's game.
Yeah, it could. Like, I just think it's gonna be like 4-1, 4-0 Oilers.
Well, you could take the minimized over then, take it at like minus 5.5, or take it to 5.5, and get terrible odds on it.
So here's
yeah,
what-
so why don't you know?
So here's just a couple things. I mean, Oilers money line, just for the sake of letting everybody know, it's at 167. Not a ton of value in that.
No.
I always use the $10 bet to tell you how much it would be. $10 gets you 6 in that scenario. Not a ton of value in there.
Are you a plus minus guy, or do you like the decimals?
I like the plus minus.
See, me
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Because he
Yeah,
loves
I don't
decimals.
get. Do you know the
I don't
decimals?
understand
It's so much easier.
I don't get it. My head can't do it.
No, it's a lot.
It's right
It's a
in
lot.
front of you what it is. You add a 0.
No, that doesn't
So
make
what
any
I don't
Chalmers
think
just
you've
said
ever
is-
explained that to me. And I
Chalmers
just
said
grew up.
1.6 to 1.
Right, but so what? It's like
For
I grew
$1
up-
you win $1.60. So for $10 you win 16.
What?
1.6 to 1.
Okay, so we'll do. Look at
Super
we'll do,
simple.
No,
We're
we're
like,
like-
no,
no,
minus
plus
167. Well, if I bet 100, I get 167. Divide that by 10. 10 is 16.
No, because
That's an extra step. I don't
see
need that.
plus, if I see
Wrong
plus,
time.
I feel good.
Yes.
Plus is good.
Plus
we
is
don't
good.
take minus unless it's like minus 110. Then it's okay.
You know what? Agree to disagree. So here, the one thing that I really
It's a
like to
Celsius
bet that I'm a
Fahrenheit.
huge
Oh, yeah.
fan of, and everybody out there, if you do this, I guarantee it's going to hit. We have a home team goals.
Oh, be
I-
advised. Hashtag.
No, do not bet responsibly. Chalmers guarantees this to him.
Okay, bet responsibly. Bet within your means. Do you guys have a number you're supposed to say? Because most people
1-800-BET.
Chalmers' phone number is.
Put it on the bottom. Don't say that.
And I was joking. Do bet responsibly.
Okay, but seriously, home team goals on some sites right now is 3. It's 3.5 for the Oilers, and that comes with a plus 130.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, I like
And
plus.
that
That's
makes me
juicy.
happy because I believe that we're going to shell them tonight.
Oh, they're
right?
going to pot 4.
I believe so. I
Minimum.
believe so. But that's only home team goals. So that is not combined over under. That is just home team goals.
yeah.
We said that yes as a score. I already took that at 215 plus 215. One I found quite interesting, and if we're going to win this series, we have one of the top 5 power plays in the league. Contrary to popular belief, they don't call more penalties in the in the regular season than they do in the playoffs. They call more in the playoffs, but because there's more infractions, therefore it just seems like they're calling less. Hence, there's going to be a lot of power plays. Well, for a plus 112, you can get over 1.5 power play goals tonight, combined from both teams. That means
Really?
two power play goals in tonight's game
That's the steal.
pays you a plus 112.
That's the steal. That's
and
a
I
good
do
find.
believe that will hit.
Wow.
I believe too.
Just saying.
So, there is not much for me to talk about in terms of the betting. Where my heart is I'm going to go regulation as well.
Yeah.
Player to
I-
score. Player to score. You got a player to
Yeah,
score.
well,
Cahoon. It's
Well,
gotta be Cahoon.
I do like Cahoon. I was hoping. I'm trying to find. I can't find anywhere. But I think with the power play opportunities, I think this is a great opportunity to see a chase on goal. Well, I haven't seen it anywhere.
I like Chase.
I also still want to bet on a Ryan McLeod goal. But you know what? I think tonight, tonight, we're also going to a day like tonight, a game like tonight. There we go, Jay. Sometimes you got to talk things through. It's live television, Chalmers.
You know,
so really,
5 on 3, 4 on 3.
yeah,
Oh boy,
Let's talk it out.
We can talk about this.
Potato. I also think this is where the snake bite stops.
Ooh, for Yamanoko. Yamaguchi.
Tamagotchi.
Gucci, 100.
Yamaguchi. Calling him Yamaguchi.
Who this is? Oh, okay.
Yamamoto.
Yeah, no, I know who that is. I get it, but I don't get why. But it's
I'm definitely. I know I can find him to score, so I'm definitely gonna put some on him. Oilers and Reg, and probably just leave it at that. I might now play that power play goal bet. That's
smart betting by
That's
Chalmers.
a good sign.
That is investigation.
I might even bet on my score predictor. My score prediction of 4-1.
Oh, remember when we used to do it when we would both
Did
take
it,
one and
yeah.
then split it?
Yeah.
Okay, Josh Peterson says, didn't think Chalmers would look like that, to be honest.
What do you think I was going to look like, Josh Peterson? What's wrong with you?
Gosh.
I hope it was better.
Send us an MS
Is this
Paint
worse?
what you thought Chalmers would look
There's a
like.
lot
You know how I just simply took that as an offense right off the bat?
Yeah, he thinks...
Sorry, Josh Peterson. Maybe you thought...
Maybe he's like, wow, he's a rock star. He doesn't
This
even know
guy's
it.
just unbelievable.
This guy's a stud. And then Sean says, Chalmers hiding his whiskey in that cup. Chalmers, care to explain?
Theater of the mind. Josh. Is his name Josh?
Sean.
Sean.
I'm Josh.
Sean.
Dylan says Chalmers looks like an absolute party. I love it.
Yep. Love to party.
Man,
Playoff mode.
It's a good time playoff.
My
mode.
Deuce Vodka player mode is I want to enter Chalmers mode for the entire playoffs.
Actually, someone did say Chalmers mode in here.
Yeah, excellent.
Yeah, Mike says, I want Nurse to enter Chalmers mode. Absolute beast. Pay that man his money.
Pay that
Just
man his
freaking
money.
love Chalmers. This is ridiculous. Okay, we did have a question that came in that said, who's scoring the first goal tonight? Predictions.
God. It's going to be a dirty one.
Oh, also,
No, Connor.
Josh said,
Connor.
do-it-yourself hipster dad, TBH, is what he thought you would look like.
Do-it-yourself hipster dad. Oh, like flannel and shit? Like
Like
wearing
corduroy
like somebody who's cooking, like a chef.
Look
Yeah,
like
sure.
Has like a bib.
look like the hipster
But like
of the
for one for
Property Brothers.
woodworking? Huh.
Yes.
That's all right.
Who do you think's going first?
I think Connor. I think Connor's just like, screw it, I'm tired, I'm carrying this team, I'm going to get the first goal.
I think James Neal gets the first goal.
I don't hate that at all.
I
James
love
Neal
him.
is slowly gaining power, and we're seeing it. This is his time to shine. Playoffs, big body, lots of veteran experience, can shoot the pill, will throw his weight around.
Rockstar visor.
Rockstar visor.
Get the boots
I bought a
going.
lot of stock in this player, but I'm not saying. I'm hoping. This is a hope. This is a heart pick.
Yeah, it's
I
okay.
don't think it's going to happen, but I want it to so bad, and that is that Yamamoto scores the first goal.
Yeah.
I really want to see him score and for his team to just engulf him.
Yep.
And,
He'll be jazzed.
man, will we be... Yeah.
Actually,
I could really see that pull ripcord for him.
that leads you into another good question. What's one player you think that if the rest of the Oilers saw this guy score the first goal of the playoffs, this would just like jazz the team up? Like, who's the one player that if this guy scored the first goal of the game, this team would just go, like, it would just, the team would be
I think a James Neal is like that.
I think a James Neal's like that. Maybe a Cassian?
Oh,
Cassian coming back.
Cassian.
yeah.
Yamamoto would be like that too, because like
Yeah.
he's been so snake bitten. They'll be so pumped for
The
him to
most
score.
jazzed up, though. The most jazzed up.
Mike Smith.
Yeah, like,
Yeah, man,
like
I'd
the
be
team is
jacked
just
about
fired
Mike
up.
Smith goal.
Mike Smith, why not? I don't know why.
I don't know who's
I
trying
can't
to-
wait to
who-
see his
you know what?
celly at
You
the end of
always
the game.
You always want to see somebody who's gone through a little bit of adversity recently.
Yeah,
To, like,
James Neal.
So James Neal.
I think James Neal's a good
Cassian.
answer.
I think that's. I think they both.
Yeah,
I can't
Kassian.
be
Yeah.
wrong with either of
Well,
them.
this is like also like I want for our third mode of Zack Kassian like, so last play-in tournament Zack Kassian I was tweeting like every game paging Zack Kassian because like
you were.
he was
I
a
remember
non-event which was so sad, and then even the start of the season same way, but then he showed those 2 games. I just want Zack Kassian. I've been talking so much I forgot the fucking mode I want to say.
Do you want me to help you?
Were
with
you
that?
doing another 2 slot? Come
I
on.
was doing
Are
another
we
mode
doing
for
it-
Zack Kassian.
Oh, you want him to enter, I don't know.
Wow.
Pounding the Mole arcade game mode? You know when you see a
Yeah,
guy
I
on a
don't
shift
remember.
and he like hits a guy and the crowd goes wild and then
Yeah.
he turns around and he hits the next guy and like hits a third guy?
Yeah.
I was going on a long rant to set the stage for the mode and I
That
forgot
was
the mode.
anticlimactic at best.
That was a lot.
That was awful.
Really set the stage there, folks.
Lots of love for JP, saying that he thinks the team would get fired up if JP.
Oh,
scored.
you know what? That's a good call. I think they would. The team is really responding well to JP. He is like the team's like this, and JP has come in there, and they're like this. They've got the lobsters, they're the claws, the Oilers. They're there.
Earlier, when we were talking about JP, I was going to say something about him and you saying that it could really ingratiate himself to the fans, that it could make him get... Our start with him was really bad.
Yeah.
We had a really bad year
Yeah.
where we thought about him negatively. He came into this season, and throughout the whole season, he changed my mind. Like, I got over it. I'm over it, right?
Yeah.
Fan
I
favorite.
really, really like him.
Yeah.
If you want me to love you now,
Have your moment.
Now's the time.
Have your moment.
Have your moment.
Have your moment.
There's going to be a lot of opportunity for a lot of guys to have their moments in this postseason.
And you know what I can't wait for?
It's a special team right now.
It's a good vibe. It's a good vibe.
So here's the reality. Everyone shits on the Oilers. Fuck all of you. But
I doubt these people all shit on the Oilers.
No. I'm talking anyone outside of this.
Oh, okay.
Like people on the outside shit on the Oilers.
Beast.
They shit on the Oilers, and it's like, okay. So we're gonna have Zack Kassian find his playoff boogie mode, and he's just gonna go and run around. That's a threat. What we haven't seen since 17, because the play-in tournament we all kind of took a nap. Even though we did put up a lot of points, but it didn't show his superhuman strength right on the breath there. Leon Draisaitl. Leon Draisaitl in 2017 went into like Superman mode. Like that's gonna happen tonight.
He had his moment. I think that hat-trick game that he had against the Sharks in the second round, or was that the first round? First round? They played the Sharks?
Don't ask me that stuff.
First round. That hat-trick game, that was his moment. That was his kind of like establishing himself in the Oilers fans' hearts.
So he's gonna go into full-on factor mode. And that's gonna push. That's why Yamamoto's gonna play well. Is Leon Draisaitl is gonna give him opportunity and also give him space.
Oh God, I'm so excited.
Okay, fellas, I got one final question before we wrap up today's show. I'm going to give you 3 scenarios, and I want you to let me know which of these 3 scenarios you would most
5
likely...
on 3, 4 on 3, or
no,
a play
gosh, no. Or a penalty shot. No penalty shot. No. No paddles there. These are game scenarios. Are you ready? Okay, 3 options. Pick which one you want to see happen first, or which one would get you the most fired up. Are you ready?
Yes.
Option number 1, a Connor McDavid end-to-end highlight reel goal. Option number 2, Zack Kassian takes the biggest guy on the Jets and just dummies him, like works him over in a fight. Or 3, Ryan McLeod takes a nasty backhand sauce and rips it over to James Neal, and he goes bar down to get the Oilers up 1-0. 3 scenarios. Which one would you most want to happen?
Do you want to go first?
I mean, in this scenario, 2 of them are not going to, I think, have long-lasting effects on the team.
Yeah.
And one of them absolutely will.
Okay.
And I believe that it's Connor McDavid going end-to-end.
Okay.
I believe he does that. I believe the rest of the team goes, this is what we're playing for. This is what we're playing with.
Team's on
set. Captain.
Yeah. Zack Kassian hits a couple, you see the momentum meter. You guys have all played video games. You've all played NHL 21. You know the momentum swings, right?
Yeah.
Sure, the momentum's going to swing a bit when Kassian dummies somebody.
Yeah.
Sure, the momentum's going to swing when Neal scores a goal. But in the mind of everybody on that bench, they're going to look at their leader and they're going to go, that's the guy we're playing with.
Yeah.
Like,
that's our
if
captain.
we don't step it up and do it for him,
Yeah.
what the fuck are we doing here?
Yeah.
True. Jay, you agree?
So I agree. So it's tough. Like it's tough to I'm gonna take a different stance just for the sake of doing it. But I wholeheartedly agree with what Chalmers just said.
Yeah.
He speaks truth. Spits hot fire.
Yeah.
Hot fire.
Is I would take the McLeod to Neal.
Lots of love for that one as well.
I would take McLeod to Neal because that represents a lot of things. Connor's gonna go end to end. It's happening. It's almost like gravity.
It's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen, right?
Yeah.
So now it's like, well, we need to show up for our captain and give him some support, some run support. So if McLeod and Neal are connecting and they start vibing and buzzing, that's huge for our whole playoff run. So that would just be my contrarian take, even though Chalmers' take was 100% right. Yeah. That would be my approach.
So then, does that mean obviously for good TV, I got to take number 2?
Please do.
I just
talk us into it. It's not even. Just talk us into it. That's basic.
Listen, Chalmers, I agree. I think the McDavid end-to-end goal, it sets a precedent for the rest of the team. This is your captain. You're seeing him do it early and often, and he's setting the tone for the rest of the playoffs, saying, I'm going to bring my game to the playoffs, and we're not going to sit back, and we're not going to get dummied in the bubble again. Well, it's not a bubble, but we're not going to let the same thing happen that happened last year.
Yeah, no, of course.
With the third one, obviously, if you're getting a goal from James Neal and Ryan McLeod is setting it up, that means you're getting some chemistry going. Mm-hmm. And that's what you need. I've said this in the past, if the Oilers' bottom 2 lines, and maybe even the bottom 3 lines, if they can stay even, you're going to win every series. You're going to win every series if those bottom 2 lines can stay even. And chipping in a goal, that means they're going to be even or above. Exactly.
So, if you're a player on a team, let's put yourself in a certain player. You're Leon Draisaitl, you're Connor McDavid, and you see 4 shifts into the game that this does happen.
Yeah.
That might make you go, they're doing it, man. They're stepping up for me.
Yeah.
And that might elevate your game, right?
Yeah.
I wonder how long will that one moment stay in his head.
Yeah.
He's always going to have his game elevated. a guy like Nuge, they're always going to try to elevate their game, right?
Yeah.
And so now you put yourself in Ryan McLeod's point of view, and he's sitting on the bench, and he sees McDavid fourth shift do that, and he goes, I'm part of something special here.
Yeah.
So, that's how I kind of look at these things, is I try to put myself in those positions and how lasting it would be.
I also think that Zack Kassian coming back from injury in his first game back, and he's had so many people attack him.
It would set the tone. Like if there was fans in the building, he did that. That would have a long-lasting effect.
But can you imagine? I'm going to set the scene for you guys. Are you ready?
Yeah.
It's 3 minutes into the game. Zack Kassian meets Adam Lowry at center ice. He works him over. Not a fan in the building. He skates by the Jets bench and says, who wants it next? And the entire Oilers team is there, tapping the boards. Do you not think that sets the tone for Zack Kassian? For himself.
Yeah.
That sets a tone for him.
That means
yes.
the mode we want him in is the switch is flipped on.
So, devil's advocate. That could also it has a positive effect on us. I know that.
Yeah.
It could also have a negative effect on us in a certain way.
Yeah.
Where guys on that bench who are not fired up just got fired up by him doing that.
Yeah.
If he nails them and he pounds them at center ice and he just skates, and they all know, Jesus, this guy's back, this is fucked.
Yeah.
And he goes to the bench and he's done with it. That he skates by them, looks at them all and goes, what do you got?
Yeah.
Now they're all going, fuck this. I gotta step it up now. We have to do something collectively.
See, I think it's intimidating though.
I think it is.
I think it's intimidating.
But
do you not remember?
He just beat up their toughest player.
But what's the most intimidating thing? You've ever been in a bar and some guy's in your face, he's like, I don't fucking thank you, what's that?
Yeah.
And you're like, is that more intimidating than the guy that walks up to you and just goes, go. And he walks out and you're like, God damn it, are we going to... you got a lot more time to think, right?
John, I can see where you're coming from, Chalmers.
Yeah.
You're such a deep thinker that I think
so deep.
This is so much deeper. This is just so deep. I just think that do you not remember a few years ago when Darnell Nurse dummied that guy?
Yeah.
And then he skated by the Calgary bench and went it was Minnesota, wasn't it? It was after he worked over, I don't remember, the Minnesota player, I think, and then he skated by the bench and went like this to the bench. Do you not think that all the Minnesota players are looking at each other?
They don't shrivel. They're professional athletes.
Well, I know they're professional athletes, but that's Zack Kassian.
But the only guys that shrivel,
that's mental warfare right there.
The guys that shrivel though are the guys that don't want any of that smoke.
Yeah. So who's gonna rise to that level? So I'm thinking about the Jets. He takes down left. Blake Wheeler, maybe. Yeah.
Scheifele, he doesn't play the toughest game in the world.
Scheifele's a sissy.
I know he is.
Scheifele.
No.
Scheifele dust him.
No. I'm not saying that these guys are going to go out and want to fight him. What I'm saying is that they're going to amp up their toughness game while still having their physical their skill game up there.
But you know what? Do you not think that's also going to get Jujar going? That's going to get Archibald going. We're in their heads, and then they're going to be focused only on the physicality. They're going to start taking penalties, and those guys are going to be off the ice. And Connor and crew are just going to be
again, devil's advocate. Jujar could be like, well, thanks for ramping up the whole tone of this game, Kassian. Now I got to go out and do this shit.
I don't think so.
Hey, look, man.
But you're not telling me if Kassian does that, you don't think Leon Draisaitl looks at him and goes, "That's our guy.
Yeah,
our guy's back."
Yeah.
Sometimes the skill guys absolutely go, "Oh, great! Now I've got to keep my head up more because meathead number one did something dumb, and now their meatheads are going to be doing something dumb."
Just line match, it's fine.
Yeah, okay.
We've all played in those games, buddy. We've all played in those games where we see.
But these guys are NHL players, so they've been through these games.
But we've never played in NHL. Everybody knows that. It's not a fucking. But the fact is the same type of attitude happens whether or not you're playing men's league, whether or not you're playing Bantam AAA. If you are a skilled player, and you watch the game getting off the rails, you go, I gotta. One more aspect of my game now I gotta change is I gotta be looking. I gotta be watching. I gotta be making sure.
See, I can understand that, but I really look at it and I think because I literally see no negative impact of Zack Kassian dummying Adam Lowry at center ice.
So, I
see more positive. Chalmers' point, but I see more positive than negative.
I can't use the 11.
But now to Chalmers' point, let's create the proper narrative because if it's just I'm gonna jump you off the draw. Then maybe that's the effect. Chalmers' effect might take heed. But if Lowry, runs over Yamamoto or something, and Kassian comes in and dummies Lowry
totally different
for doing it.
Totally different cause.
Then that's a different... That is a different.
If it causes a jumping, which
Yeah.
makes no sense,
Yeah.
the effect is not going to be as positive for us.
Yeah.
If it's a retribution to something that's just happened, it's going to be totally.
I can see where you're coming from. I can totally get that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, I want to go back to the beginning of the three options.
Okay, yes. I forgot. That's where we started with this.
I think and this goes back to who, like, first goal scorer. If Connor does do the end-to-end thing, that sets the fucking whole tone for the series.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's why it's important.
If I'm sitting on the Winnipeg Jets bench and I see him go end-to-end score, I'll go,
like, we're done.
How do we fucking beat this guy?
Yeah.
Like,
Let's hop on.
and
Take
they
the
have
bus home.
Leon on the bench there, coming out next.
Yeah.
How the fuck do this?
Yeah.
Okay, one other thing before we wrap up. We mentioned him briefly here when we were having this conversation. Do you guys not agree that one player, because we talked about it, which player scoring would fire this team up the most? Do you not think that Ryan Nugent-Hopkins scoring a big, nice, like classic
I thought
Nuge
about
goal
that.
would really have a big impact?
I thought about that,
the
but I'm not. I don't think on the side of him doing it as such a surprise that I would be like, holy shit, fucking awesome! Like here he is, because he came back. We all wondered how it was gonna be, and he was great.
Yeah.
He was great.
He's trending. He's trending.
Yeah, so I'm not looking at him thinking like it's gonna be a surprise if he does something great.
Yeah, because he finished strong.
Yeah.
He had a slump.
Yeah.
He was big time snake bitten, same as Yamamoto. But
Nuge is a warrior. The guy's got heart, so he's going to show up.
Yeah.
He's going to show up. Now we need everyone else to show up, and we haven't really even touched on Mike Smith.
yeah, we haven't even talked.
Mike Smith,
What's there to touch on?
The biggest
He's our number
warrior.
one until he isn't. Let's just.
Well, I know,
It's
like,
number one until he
but
is.
like there's nothing negative to say.
You know
like
what?
that guy's a warrior. I cannot wait to see him.
Yeah, when we were talking about it on the podcast about the Stalock Koskinen thing,
fuck
it's
Koskinen
like you
stresses me
do
out.
not want to walk into the playoffs worrying about that shit. Let's just worry about this.
I'm not worried. I had that debate
We
just
just
to
don't
talk
have
about
to
the
have it.
backup. I know. I am all in and believe in Mike Smith.
Yeah.
All in. He has given us no reason in the course of this season to not believe in him as our starter for the playoffs.
Then let's just believe.
Word.
Leave it at
I
that. Deal with
believe.
it when it comes.
Fellas, any final thoughts? Game 1, Jets Oilers, going down tonight. Chalmers, we'll start with you. Score prediction and your final thoughts before we wrap.
5-1. I said 5-1 before, so I'm going to say 5-1 again. I believe that's what it is.
Okay.
My final thought is, we're in a place right now where we can't get together with our friends and watch this game.
Mm-hmm.
It sucks,
Yes.
but that stuff that we're doing on social media, all the hype videos, all the people keep it connected, all the bearded brads that want to chug some vodka and do that type of thing to stay connected, all of that stuff is so badly what we need right now.
Yep.
I feel it. I'm driving around the city. I'm feeling like there should be more hype. There should be I should have more of an anticipation for this game because I'm going to get together with 20 of my friends. Well, we don't have it, right? So this is the 20 friends. This is the thing that we have to do. So you know what? It's a blip in time. Let's just fucking do it online. Let's just get it going.
Yeah.
Let's talk during the game, right?
Yeah.
And let's just enjoy this ride, man.
Jay, score thought or score prediction?
Chalmers on fire today, and
Chalmers
he
is buzzing.
is speaking from
Wow.
the heart. So to add to that, so we can even just get a chance to sit on a patio and watch some hockey together.
Yeah.
Get your vaccinations,
That's damn right.
or just do the right thing to, contain the spread, bring the
SCA
case
got
counts
his,
down.
just so you know.
Let's go.
Gretzky
I'm
got
hoping
his.
by the end of this round or the
Just
start of
saying.
next round, we're on the pine patio, bearded brads in the corner, crushing a neon nation bomb.
Paying a little
and
more for
life
those.
is good. Oh yeah,
Than he would at home.
Okay, wait, did you say your score prediction?
4-1 oil.
4-1. I'm going to take 6-2 Oil. I think they're going to dumb you. I
Love it.
said the over earlier, and I'm going to take it at 6.5, so I have to stand by that. 6-2 Oilers final score. We want to thank you for being a part of today's show, as always. Special edition of the Deuce Vodka pregame show. We got the studio set up. We got Chalmers, Cowboy Chalmers here. Chalmers, you're going to be back. You're going to be back.
Friday.
Okay, but here's the thing.
Friday at noon.
I'm going to Malik on Friday.
I didn't know you had a lake.
Oh, you have a lake?
Every
I
cowboy
own a
has a
whole
lake.
lake.
Every
It's
Cowboy
got a
has
ranch. It's more of a ranch.
Yeah, fair.
Well,
What time are you leaving?
Yeah, what time are you leaving?
Early.
Are we going to have to call in a new guest?
Can I do something? And I thought about this. And I thought, because if
Send
we
in a
win...
video.
Okay, well, Can we not do something like with like Zoom? You can't Zoom and
Yeah,
we can't Zoom.
We can't. We've tried the Zoom. It's just
It
not.
sucks.
It's not.
What time Friday?
What time are we gonna do Friday? What time is the game on Friday? We'll figure it out.
Fridays at 7:30.
We'll figure it out.
We'll do a lunchtime one because that's.
Yeah.
I don't want to ruin the moment. Listen, if
I
we
don't
lose
know.
tonight, I'm never coming back.
Oh.
Tell you that much right
Hey,
now.
we're not losing. We're
I
not losing tonight.
Come in, we're not losing. I'm just saying.
I don't know about you, but like once on a game day, once it hits noon, I'm tuned out anyway. So
Yeah.
we probably owe it to the community to pump this out at noon.
Yeah. One other thing I wanted to touch on tonight, as long as all the technical stuff works out, the Oily Boys Intermission Extravaganza will be back. So during the intermissions, tune in live across all our social channels. Me, Coomsy, and Wanye will be going live, breaking down the periods, reading your comments, giving some stuff away. So tune in for that. Yeah.
One day.
Doesn't show his
I
face.
don't know.
Yeah.
It's coming on. Just put a little thing over it.
Oh,
He's
boy.
good to go.
Yeah.
Chalmers, thank you for being here, brother.
Thanks for having me,
Appreciate
guys.
it.
That was
Jay,
fun.
As always, it's a pleasure.
Let's go LFG.
Let's
Honestly.
go, Oilers. We'll see you tonight and next game.